Hi, this is Cheryl St.Pierre. In this little video, I'm going to show you how to make these cute little heart earrings, and I'm making them with virtually all scraps. And it's I'm making a loop head pin to make them so that you can have the option of a drop or just like this. It's fine. If you don't want to drop, I recommend putting the bottom loop back and forward so it just looks, I don't know, like a line, I guess. But I am putting on these little drops. You could put on any drops. The drops aren't part of the design, but I just wanted to show you the versatility of it, because changing the drops changes the earrings. So, okay. So I'm going to come right back with the drops on so that you can see the drops. Oh, by the way, I wanted to ask you to like my videos. I know it's been a while since I've been here, and it's just, I've been having video technical problems with my new home. I can't get the lighting right. So I haven't been happy with it. And so I'm going to try, even though the lighting isn't the greatest, I'm going to try and do at least one video a week. So starting 2023, Happy New Year, everybody. And we're getting ready for Valentine's, right? Okay, so I will come back with the drops on. Okay, so I'm back and I've got the drops on here, and that's how it looks with drops. So, I mean, a clear rondelle would look really lovely there. And you could do the same type of top that we did here on a clear rondelle. Do virtually the same thing except for this swirl, and it would look really cute. And yeah, that's great. So I also want to ask you guys to comment on my video. It's so important. Please comment, like it, subscribe, all those good things. It really helps me out. So, and let's get on with the show. Okay, so for supplies for these earrings, you're going to need, and I'm actually using scraps. This is about 4.5, 5 inches of 20 gauge wire. I'll have metric in the description for you. And I've got 10mm red hearts, and I've got 4mm bicones and ear wires. So I'm also at the end going to put on some extra drops. Now, I'm not teaching you to make the drops. The earrings are good with or without the drops. So that's just what I wanted to put on, just to make them a little extra special. You could put any type of drops underneath. You could make a little heart that you made. You could put, these are just little tiny hearts that I just wrapped to keep straight. And you could do a wrapped bicone. You could do a wrapped rondelle or nothing. So these are great, quick little earrings. And so what tools you're going to need are your round nose pliers, your chain nose pliers, and whichever type of snips that you prefer. I prefer these kind because I can get into tight places. Okay, so we're going to start off by making loop head pins. And all I'm doing is just making a nice small loop, starting off as a P loop, because it makes the letter P, and then I'm turning it into an I loop, just simply like that. And then if you need to straighten it, sometimes you do, and you just straighten it like that. It strengthens it. It straightens it. Okay, so I'm going to do the second one quickly. Just going to close that loop up. Okay, and that's going to be at the bottom of the earring. So we don't need to pre-measure. In order to make these mirrored, we're going to do the top loops, one normally and the other reversed. And I'm going to, well, I can show you how to do that. First I wasn't going to, and then figured I might as well. Okay, so I want the loop, you can, this is a personal choice. I want this loop to go this way, the way it's sitting. And if it moves on me, I'll just straighten it out later. And if you change your mind, you can flip it around later too. It doesn't matter. Now I've got lotion on my hands. I'm leaving fingerprints. Okay, so now I want the bicone on top of that. And now I want 3 or 4 wraps for what I'm doing next. And the main thing is to be consistent on both earrings. So for the gap, you're going to want, well, you should probably know what makes around 3 or 4 wraps, but you need to be consistent for both of them. So I'm going to do both of them at the same time. I'm going to try and remember that it's there, and that's, I'm eyeballing it. So then I'm going to put the second one on. I had it about there. Okay. And I'm not worrying about which direction my loop is because I can switch it around later. Okay, so one, we're going to do a forward. Oh, I'm moving over. I'm going to move my camera over. Just there. So I'm center screen. Okay, and you want the loops to be consistent between the two. So, okay, this is a normal wrap loop because I'm on, oops, sorry, because I'm on this side. I've got the wire on this side, which is the normal way. Now to do a reverse one, you're going to have it on the opposite side. So I'm going to quickly do this one. And I'm going to have it come on this, whoops, this side. And that's how you reverse it. And when you do this, this side, the left side is the front. And when you do this one, the right side is the front. Whichever side the wire is on is the front. That makes sense? Okay. So now I'm going to make wraps, and you don't want it so tight, so it'd be nice to have a tiny little space that you can have a little room for the heart to go up, because we're going to be wrapping around that part, right? Whoop. Keep going to that part. Okay, that part. I haven't made a video in a while, so I'm out of practice. Okay, so I've got 3 wraps, and that's good. So I'm going to do 3 wraps on both of them. So this one, the wraps are going the opposite direction. And actually, if you look at that, yes, it looks like 4, but it's 3. So we got to make sure we do the same on this one. And I notice that my wraps are going lower, so I'm going to cinch them up. Give myself a little bit extra room, because I got tight, and I don't want to break the glass either. You can tell this wire is slightly shorter than the other one. Okay. So then the next step, I want to make sure that these loops are going the same direction for the way I'm doing it. Now, I know that my light, that's why I haven't been making much videos, is I'm having issues with lighting in my new house, which is frustrating. Okay, I don't want this. Oh, it flipped back on me. Okay. It's a little tight. Kind of chipped my heart a tiny bit there. But there's nothing I can do about that now, is there? Okay. So, the next thing I'm doing is making sure that everything's straight and it bent over. So I'm straightening it, and I want to do a loop. My springboard loop is what I kind of call it. Okay, it does that, and it's crossing over the bicone, and that's what we want. And I'm going to do a little loop on the corner here. And I'm finding that I'm a little short on wire here. So definitely go with 5 inches. And I'm going to go like this. And I'm crossing over. And the reason I started doing this is I hate it when the hearts flip. I hate it when the beads flip on you when they're flat. And so that's how my little designing like this all came about. Is, you know, I used to buy other artists' jewelry, sometimes still do, and I got frustrated with the way their beads always flipped. And so anyways, I try to make my designs so they don't do that. They'll flip a little bit. So, and then I'm wrapping around the base loop. Okay, and then I'm going to snip the wire with my flush cutter right here, and then crimp it in so that the wire touches itself, so that this is what I mean. I'm crimping it in, and I'm trying to make it kind of hidden in there. Okay, so you see, you can have, if you were doing just this, I would have the loop going front and back. But because I'm putting a drop, I want it this way, just for the way I made the drop. So that is personal choice. So you need to do your adjustments. This isn't sitting right. I want it sitting right. Always need to do adjustments. And I'm going to push this down a little bit more. There. Okay. Make sure it's all sitting straight. It looks a little bit lopsided. Just all those little checks make your work that much more desirable. Okay, so that's done. And now I'm going to do the same thing. And I guess my work's a little bit too tight, chipping away. Okay, so now I'm going to do it, because it's reversed, it's automatically going to make it go in the opposite direction. So I'm doing that loop over top like that. And my wire is bent. Sometimes that's the thing about using leftover wire. Sometimes it's better to do it fresh off the roll. You know what? I have to restart this one. I can tell that I'm not with it right now with making videos. Okay, so I'm going to be back with redoing it because I made that loop go the wrong direction. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I'm just going to get started over. So I'm making the loop on top. Then we got to remember that the loops go in the opposite directions, and I made my loops both the same last time. So I've got to have this sitting right, and then I'm making this loop go in the opposite direction. And that way it kind of takes on the shape of the heart. So I've got the loop, kind of want it in the corner there. You could even go 5.5 inches for length, so because it's still short, but this is 5 inches. And wrap around there. So I went in the front and around like that. It's ready to snip. Okay, so the pair. There's the pair. They're slightly different, which pretty much will always be. I mean, they're similar enough, but there's just, this one is a little bit closer, and I can change that. All you'd have to do is just carefully squeeze it. There, they're much closer. Okay, I'm going to put the ear wires on now because that's basically the earring I'm teaching, but I encourage you to experiment with different types of drops. And believe it or not, that changes the earring up quite a bit. There. I think they're pretty. Okay, so I am going to just pause here, and I will do the beginning where it looks like this, and then I will add that late in a little bit. So for you, it would be momentarily. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put the drops on now. And I'm just opening up the loop here. You have to pay attention to where the end of the loop is. And then, because it's going to end up getting bent out of shape. So I have this loop backwards and forwards. And I want it to be so that the line of wire is in the front. So if you don't have anything like that, you don't have to worry about it. And I went backwards. So what I'm going to do, instead of taking it off, putting back on again, I'm just going to flip the loop around. Until it sits right. There. Oops. Okay. So just wanted to show you what it looks like. It's pretty cool. Okay, and I will do the other one. And hopefully I won't have to flip it around this time. There. Okay, and then that's done. So I want to thank you all for joining me in this video. And please comment, please say hi. The more comments I get, the better my channel will do. It's really important to me. And give me a suggestion of something you'd like me to make. That doesn't mean I'll make it, but give me a suggestion, and I will try. And no promises, but I will try. And I love hearing from all of you. So, okay, God bless, take care, and we will see you in the next one. Bye for now.